So, Odon, are you ready? Here is another question. This is by Al BM. I'm not going to say any more than that's his name. We'll leave it at that. But this is the question he asks. In the Quran, it refers to, "O you trusted," people who can be trusted. Belief can be attained by isolating yourself away from society and sitting inside a monastery, a cave, or a hilltop and meditating about God. Trust, on the other hand, can only be attained in interacting with society and proving your trustworthiness in all affairs and in all matters. Belief does not need society. Trust does need religion. And what Al-BM is asking us, who then are these Al-muminun, the believers? And this is the question he has. I'd love to hear your answer on this one as well.
According to the standard Islamic narrative, Al-muminun are the believers, and the believers in Islam. They are the Muslims, the first Muslims. And I think Al-BM is very right to point at this expression, because it means something more. It does not mean only believers, but it is based on the root, which means trust, and mumin, it's a participle, is those who have given trust. Those who, in a sense, it means those who are faithful to something. But the phrase, the word mumin, does not tell what those believers, what those muminun are faithful to. So this is the question. What are they faithful to? Are they faithful to Islam? Are they faithful to something else? And what we saw, for example, in the coins, is that the Arab leaders describe themselves as being Amir, which means commander, of the muminun, Amir al-muminun. So they were the commanders of the muminun, which could mean that the muminun were their troops. They were the ones who were faithful to their Amir, to their commander. And this is a meaning which is very interesting, because it reminds us how deeply ideological the first so-called Muslims were. They were in fact engaged with their leaders. They were engaged to their leaders, faithful to their leaders, in order to conquer the world. I think this is the real meaning of the word mumin. But of course, this is not what the standard Islamic narrative wants us to believe. It wants us to believe that those were Muslims, the first Muslims.
Isn't this another example of one that you have brought up before? I mean, this is what you're really good at, Odon. You're saying, and you're always reminding us, and I love the fact that you do this. You say, hold on a minute. Don't impose the meaning of the word from what is known today. So muminun today is the standard, is imposed. It has been created by the standard Islamic narrative to mean Muslims. So when you see muminun today, don't assume that that's Muslims. It's like the same way we said earlier about the word Allah. Just because it's on a coin that says Allah, that does not mean it's a Muslim coin, because Allah is the name of God that is used by all religions in Arab who speak Arabic. And the same token, God, G-O-D in English, is used by all religions who speak English. So in the same way, muminun in the 7th century is what you're saying. In the 7th century are those who are the followers of the amirs, who are the leaders of that time.
Much more to they are more than followers. They have given their faith. They are faithful to him.
Okay, the faithful followers of
the Amir is a sort of spiritual and political leader, and also war chief. And he is a war chief, and he is a total war chief, because he is both a political and a religious figure.
Okay. And therefore, we always, like we've always said, make sure if you're reading something, if it's a phrase, if it's a word, if it's a testimony, stick it in the century that it's written, and then use that context to understand what it means. And this is good exegesis. Exegesis, by definition, demands that you go and understand what the author is saying. Don't impose your own view on what the author is saying. That's called eisegesis, and that's exactly what you're doing here with the name muminun. Sorry, thanks so much. This has been very helpful. God bless you, and you're very clear on this. And I hope LBM has been answered on that. Okay, this is Jay and Odon, over and out.